Hello, folks. How are you doing? Let me just check if everything is working properly or not. 1 second. It won't take long time. Okay. I was just watching ISO Speed's stream, and let me check mine. Let me go. Okay. Let me go. Okay. Crazy how the technology works. I'm looking black as well. Crazy how the technology works. I'm looking black as well. Okay. Everything is going fine. Target of today's this is to solve 5 LeetCode problems. I'm going to share my LeetCode journey from here on. 1 second. Let me just. Yes. So the target is to solve 5 LeetCode problems without any help from any of the AI tools or any videos, etc. And these questions are already I solved them before. So let me check and revise if everything is going well or not. Okay, let me share my screen to you guys. Oh, just a second. Don't take just an window, Chrome tab. Yeah. Mm. Okay. So let's open our lead code. Right. Let's sign in. These are my credentials. By the way, why is it not working? What the hell? Why am I supposed to do it again twice? Yeah, after doing it, let's go into it and let's go to problems. The first problem I wanted to solve today was longest common prefix. Probably the number is 14. It's an easy problem, right? Let's struggle a bit and let's complete this. Okay. So here is the problem. How are we going to solve this problem with a limited number of minutes? Now is 12:22 a.m. at the morning of Sunday. So let me give time since this is my first problem. Let me give myself 28 minutes, no, 38 minutes of time until 1 o'clock, even if it's possible. I just want to learn, you know, the different ways and methods how I can solve this problem. Okay. The question is write a function to find the longest common prefix string amongst an array of strings, right? If there is no common prefix, return an empty string. So, for example, in flower, flew, and flight, FL is common, so the output is FL. And in dog, race, car, and chat, nothing is common, so nothing is returned. So, yes, let's solve this problem. So, let's say I don't know anything, I am just solving it in brute force way, and how will me or anyone solve this problem? That's the first question. What if I go through I keep my flower as my word and compare all the remaining words to my flower word and calculate the longest. How does it sound? Okay, I'll keep long. No, long is actually an variable. So let's say longest itself. Longest is equals to 0. And let me keep my word is equals to, what can I keep? I can keep the first word as my, word which I will compare to all others. Comparison word. So my strings of 0 is my word. And the language we're using is Python 3. Let me go from, yes, let me go from 1 to all the way until the strings length, right? We are not comparing 0 with 0 because we know 0 is already considered for the word. So we need another loop for I in, for string in word, for each letter in word. No, I need to compare the, what is it, the length. What if I need to compare the minimum length and then go into it? How do I do it? Right? I need to compare just the word, right? How do I even do that, bro? Okay, let's go with, let's say, let's think. No, 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 no. How will we solve this problem of, okay, I'm comparing all the remaining words, flow and flight, with flower, but when I need to compare the common letters, how many common letters? I need to go through all the letter or each word I'm getting each word here already from 1 to, so first time I'll get flow and then the flight. The only thing missing for me is now to compare my flower, each letter in my flower, to all the letters in my flow and flight. So how do I do it? If my length of I, if it's greater than 0, and no, bro, I'm doing something very, very bad and wrong. Don't just give up. But let me try. Let me try. Your chat. Help me out, bro. Somebody. Will live streams save on YouTube chat? Okay. How will I strong? How will I solve this? Okay. Flower, flow, and flight is there. For I in range, I'm going to each one. Now all I need is a way. to check my flower, to compare my flower to flow on flight, and then determine that FL is the. How do we solve this? Okay, okay, chat. I think I'm a lot more dumber than I think. This is actually a lot more easier if once I sort it. Okay, let's say I sort this solution and keep it as yes. No, I can't return it. Strs dot sort it. Okay. After sorting, they'll lexicographically get sorted. So let's say I, save two variables. First as my strs strings of 0 will be my first, and last will be my strings of -1, since I want the last one, right? And yeah, after this, what we'll do here, while okay, let me consider a for loop for I in range. For I in range, we actually don't need a for loop also in this. Okay, let me say I equals to 0, and we'll go if my I is greater than 0, and what is it? If my I is less than length of first, and I is also less than length of last, only then we'll go inside and we'll compare if my I, which I, what is the, not, this is not the I that I wanted, right? Yeah, if my first of I, if it's less than, no, if it's not equal to my last of I, then I'll just return. What should I return, chat? I should return something. Mm, yeah, let's not return here. Let's just break here. We'll go outside. Otherwise, we'll just add. What should we add? We should just increase the length of the eye. And then after this, we'll return my first of, what to say, from starting to I until I should just return it, and let's just submit and see it if it's working. if the solution is actually working, yes, it's working, and it's a crazy solution, right? So since we are taking n log n time here, it the time complexity is n, and here is just n, and here n log n. So n log n is bigger than n, so we are considering n log n as a time complexity. And for the space, we are just using two variables which are actually not taking a lot of space, which is just big of 1 plus big of 1, and big of 2 is nothing but big of 1. So we're just considering that, and hence it's not a great deal, and this is a very good solution, I would say. Let's solve this again. Okay, I just took some help from ChatGPT. I don't want to do it again. We're not perfect, and we're doing it for the first time. It's okay to take some help and do it. And either way, you just need to create, right? Mm, Crazy that we finished one problem. One problem is finished, and let's just add an marker, right? Yeah. So this is my end of my first problem, and let's just solve it again, just to make sure we understood every part of it, right? What I would do here, I would just sort it. How would I sort it? I would take my strings and just sort it. Remember, this sort does not return anything. So if you try to add some variable here, you'll get into some error. So just don't just do it. And then after sorting immediately, what you should know, uh, since FL is common here, check for O and I. Flight will come into the first. Here, since O is same and W is also same, since there are no more characters for flow will be the second after flight. Flight is the first, flow is the second, flower is the third. Flower would be the third. So our entire string in a way would be reversed, but you can't guarantee the same solution to all the other inputs. So what we need to do here is, and after sorting, we need to compare the first and the last one to lexicographically to understand which and all are common. Since the all the middle elements would definitely have the common elements of the first and the last, right? So after immediately sorting, name two variables called the first and the last. First would be our strs of 0. Last would be our strings of -1. -1 in Python would give us the last element, right? So after this, let's open a. We don't even need a for loop, right? We'll just go with an I for index calculation. And while my I is greater than, you can just see here length can be different. Let's say length can be this, and this is 6 character long, and this is just 3 characters long. I just want to compare until and unless there is a character in both of this, which we are both the first and the last one. So if my I is less than my length, less than the length of the my first string, and also uh, and remember, we're using and because of, because both our conditions should be true, then only our what do you say, our solution works. If my I, if it's less than last length of the last also, only then go inside. And you need to check if my first I, if it's not equal to my last I, then you need to just break the loop, break and come outside of the loop. Otherwise, please increase 1 in my loop. This is a very good valid solution. Immediately after this, you need to return what? In return your first until, from the beginning until I. Okay. Then if you do this, and if you are going to run the solution, you can see, you can just look at it. Yeah, the solution is test cases, basic test cases are passing. Let's see if my full solution is working. Absolutely, it worked, and it worked too good. And here is how you will solve this problem, folks. And let's just see for a problem how it works. Let's say for flower, flow and flight, right? So flight would be, as we discussed, flight would be our first word and flower would be our last word. and you'll go here, and you'll get flight because I is smaller than both the O's. And here my flower would be my last word. After going inside, yeah, both are like, one is definitely less than 6 and 6. We'll go inside, f is common in both, then again we'll go inside, f l will be common in both, so we'll not just break. Here I and o will just break it out, and since our value of our I is 2 now, we'll just check my firsts from this to this. Okay, so basically 0 and 1, 0 comma 1 indexes. What is 0 comma 1 index in the first? We have fl, so we are returning fl. So in this way we'll solve this solution. Thank you, sir. Again, it's a very good valid solution, and like I like the solution, overall solution for it. And okay, now let's just solve the valid parenthesis. The second problem is valid parenthesis. Lit code number 20. Okay, lit code 20. This is also an easy problem, and I think I've solved this already once. We are going to try it again, and yes, we're going to try it again. How is the stream so far, my folks? Is there anything? Let me let me mute it and check it out. Check my voice and how I'm speaking. Is everything okay? Since this is my first stream. Yes, chat. Let's continue with valid parenthesis and how we would solve this problem. Right? I think I already solved this problem, but it's so hard, bro. Keep forgetting the solution. I think I should improve a lot in terms of lead code. I just don't want to be the same. Okay. This, let's say we went into Google Office and they gave this problem. You'd be "Ure, it's an easy problem, but still if you can't solve it, then what's the use, bro?" So let's just go in and let's just try to do something here. Sorry, chat. We are going to come continue tomorrow. Today is enough, and maybe tomorrow I'll bring in better content. Stay tuned, and from tomorrow we'll do a far more better job in terms of preparing. And I hope we achieve our goal in the near future of solving some 500 problems and getting into a better job. Thank you for listening. I'm going to end the stream. Make sure you work hard for your dream, because if you don't, then nobody else will. Don't waste your time. Cheers, Mithun. Ending. That's it. That's it from myself. Thank you so much.